Look at this girl. I got new buttons. These were actually surprisingly cheap. I got them on the same shop where I bought the new stick. I still have the old stick, although I clean it a lot. I haven't changed it, and actually with just the cleanance, it feels way better. And with the new stick and all that, feels better. The only bad part about this change is that I don't have my like independent D-pad, kinda. Like I actually changed that to my other controller, which I cleaned this one too, and I put the best parts I had. So this controller should actually be pretty good too, and it's like in good shape. So this is usually my D-pad. I have independent D-pads because I like that for this game since you use the D-pad so much. So I guess I need to get used to this. I don't really want to cut this thing. It's also like it's harder. Like the material is harder than the other D-pad. Now, if it really just doesn't feel right for me in runs, I might just change for the other D-pad, even though it's a different color, whatever. Because I like that's comfortable for me. But yeah, it looks pretty cool. I like black and purple. So that's why maybe I might like do a no reset run or something to see how it feels on an actual run. What else happened? You know, something very important happened yesterday in Chile. I don't know if you see news or if there are any news from Chile out there. But hang on. This is story time. It's a little politic story time. Let me put music first. So you see, we have a president that sucks, right? We all know that. Piñera, he sucks. Okay? So the thing is, there is a constitutional accusation to Piñera that like people had been trying to make happen, but it's been like pretty hard because he's like fucking, you know, he's blind. No, not blinded. Like he's well protected by a lot of political parties and stuff. Give me a second. So the thing is, the last thing that happened is there is this like members of the accusation that they need to, let's see, like the last I don't really know how to say all this in English. That's the thing. That's why I'm struggling with. But basically, the accusation needed to be validated, kinda, yesterday. It was like a very important day for that. Okay, on like the not the Senate, the other thing, like the representatives. Because it's not senator, it's diputados. Deputy? I don't know how to say that in English. But it's another one of the big consuls of like government thingy. So one of the things that was happening was there wasn't enough votes for the thing to be approved. Okay? There was one vote left to basically win the first part of the accusation, because this doesn't approve entirely the accusation, because then it needs to go to the Senate. So this is only the first part to get it to the Senate. This one vote, we actually have it, but the guy was on quarantine, okay? And the quarantine ended yesterday, or rather today at 12 a.m. Okay? So, but the validation was yesterday. So basically they needed, you know, the people that wanted to make the accusation happen, they needed to stall for an entire day for the other guy to arrive from quarantine, and then we will have the quorum to make the thing happen, because it's literally one vote that we need to get the, you know, the majority. Okay, so, and the thing is, okay, so he was on quarantine, but the thing is, before we were able to do things online, but from some weird laws and stuff, because we changed from the exception state not too long ago, he wasn't allowed to do it online. Everything has to be on land. Okay, and they actually, they just, the laws didn't allow for this validation to be on a different day. It had to be yesterday. And I mean, technically the defenders of the president could make it on a different day, but they didn't want to. Okay, because of course, I mean, they're gonna win if they do it yesterday. So, what happened? what happened is, one of the fucking representatives decided to arrive at the Congress with a discourse of 1,300 pages. Like 1,300 pages. Yes. It's a fucking yes. And so he arrived with that, and the thing is, the laws allow you, there's unlimited time to talk on the Congress, okay? As long as you're talking stuff that is related to the thing, you can keep going. And he fucking stalled the session for 15 hours. He read the thing for 15. He's a fucking RPG speedrunner. Like, he never stopped. 15 hours. The guy has like 70 years. It was crazy. It was absolutely crazy. Completely crazy. And so he stalled all that so the other guy could get out of quarantine, which, by the way, he was on Santiago, and the Congress is on Valparaiso, so it's a different region. It's like an hour of travel. He would get out his house, out of quarantine, he will travel to the Congress and vote for the thing. 15 hours of stall. So that could happen, and we can make the accusation not even be complete, but just go to the Senate. This guy, it's like Jesus, like he's literally like Jesus. Yeah, no, he should be a streamer, like absolutely. And he was like kind of alright at the end, you know, like he got some help in between. There was like another representative that was helping him from time to time. Like every time he said something really cool, she would like wake up and start clapping, and everyone clapped, so the guy could take a couple minutes or a couple seconds of not talking, you know, stuff like that. Or she would remind him to, hey, you gotta go to the bathroom now, you have your bathroom break, you can take it. And so he would go, you know, stuff like that. It was mental. And it was like a fucking marathon. Like, everyone was watching. It was on streams. It was actually, there was a couple guys from, like, it's like lawyers that play video games and stuff, things like that on Twitch. They were making a stream of the thing live, you know, showing the thing live, and like with a counter and all that shit. No, it was crazy. It was so crazy. Yeah, exactly. Actually, the term comes from the US. It's, in Spanish we say filibustero, which is a technique comes from a technique on English which is called filibuster, apparently. That's something I learned yesterday because of all this. Yeah. No, it's crazy. He fucking recite, like, you know, there was in the accusation there's a lot of citing of, you know, the stuff of like Pandora papers, you know, my papers and stuff. Because, and like some studies like ambient studies, environment and stuff. And like he was reading some of the entire reports. Like he would say like, I cite this report, and then he will read the entire paper. And then another really fun thing that happened is, well, he was on like, I don't know, like 5 hours long into the thing, into just reading the fucking discourse. Some of the representatives of the right, because all of this is pushed by the left, because we hate the president and all that, so we want to make the accusation because of, you know, crimes against humanity and all stuff like that. So some of the guys on the right were like, oh, you're a fucking clone and all that, like just yelling in the middle of it. And so the fucking representative reading the thing was like, okay, so I got a little bit interrupted, so I kind of lost my focus on the idea I was saying right now, so let me go back to this idea I was trying to formulate. And he will go back like 3 pages and just read that entire part again. It was so stupid. But yeah, like we have like so many memes about the thing. There's so many anime memes and stuff. It's just great. And yeah, that was very important. I really wanted to talk about that because it was so fun, and because Piñera fucking deserves that stuff, honestly. He deserves that and much more. He deserves the fucking accusations to actually be true, you know? Like, I mean, to happen.